We got so comfortable listening to this black box, y'all. We got really comfortable listening, following this black box blindly without any type of questioning or discernment. And if you haven't caught on, the black box is the one that you are looking at me through, like the device that you're using. It can be a phone, it can be a laptop, it can be a television. And I really want to like kind of snap back to our primal days, to say the least, when it comes to language. Because I mean, technology has advanced our society so fast, and sometimes I feel like well, not sometimes, we just don't do it. We don't kind of sit and analyze like what the freak is going on. We just kind of like accept it. You know, some people do the analyzing. I feel like, you know, people that were born without technology, they were kind of like, well, what is this? And then just kind of accepted it. But like me as a Gen Zer, as someone who literally was raised on technology, it was easy for me to kind of accept social media and accept the time because it was just something I grew up with. But now that I'm getting older, and now that like, I'm going through my spirituality and I'm like getting closer to God, and I'm like, okay, let me question things. And questioning things feel a lot fun to me. It feels fun to me. So help me question this thing together, okay? Um and I would like to start off by why we are so connected to each other that it is such a blessing, but it can also be a curse. Blessing as in, you do not have to go into a store to apply for the job. You do not have to go to the business to, promote yourself. You don't have to be in proximity of someone to talk to them, to network with them, to get to know them. And that in itself is pretty cool. I don't have to leave my house. I don't have to do any extra work to getting to know somebody. I don't have to do that. All I have to do, or all I can do, is just like, email them real quick and, hope to God that they'll get back. And, that by itself has bridged a lot of barriers because everyone does not have a car. Everyone doesn't have the ability to just travel freely so they can get noticed by certain artists, certain employers. And maybe in the past they wouldn't have gotten certain opportunities because of location or things that were systematically in place to keep them from accessing those things. So of course, like, this black box has given us a lot of opportunity, has shown us a lot of things. Honestly, I'm pretty sure if I was born in the 1980s, I probably wouldn't know what half of the world will look like. But the fact that I have this black box, I'm able to see what people in China, how they live life, how they live life because of Red Note. I'm able to see the different parts of Africa that I probably wouldn't have been able to see if I wasn't exposed to African influencers, or like, people that do Afro beats, or just like, just photos and videos of that beautiful continent. I would have just left it up to the American government to teach me about this continent. I wouldn't have known about certain things in Black history. I wouldn't known about certain historical figures like Mansa Musa and Nat Turner. I wouldn't have known a lot of things, and it's because of this little black box that you are now holding in your hand that you know so much about so many things. You can easily look up something. You can see if someone is lying. You can see if someone is bluffing, like about something that they feel like they know. Or you can tell, hey, you really don't know a lot about this subject because you have this little black box. And I am so grateful that I get to experience a life where everything is honestly 10 times easier. But what we don't question is, what did that cost us? What did having access to information within, I can't even say a click of a button, a tap of a screen, like, what did that cost us? And I was born in 2001. Like, there's only so much memories I have that isn't based around technology. I literally grew up using computers, so I can't completely understand what that transition was like, but I can only imagine based off of, again, the videos that I would see of people in the 1990s and just reading the comments talking about, oh, it was no phones, it's just people like talking, it's people enjoying themselves. Like, and I often wonder, why do we choose this black box over life? You know? Because we can be literally in a group of people, in a group setting. We can be around so many people, but we choose to look at what other people, what the same people that you're around are doing in this black box. Like, you know, and the reason why I'm calling it a black box is so we can like get, I don't know, like, I just feel like it's a black box, you know? I just don't know why I'm calling it this. And I feel like once I like separate my phone, because this is more than a phone, this is a computer. Once I separate this device, this interstellar connection box from everything else, it makes you realize, like, okay, this thing has more control over me than what I thought it did. And that's kind of scary. Like, depression, anxiety rates are on an all-time high. Same with suicide. People are starting to not feel fulfilled. And it's not like we have less people in the world, you know? There's apps and there's like different events that people go to try to like gain human connection. But when we go to those places, the first thing that we do is show that we are there. And 90% of the time, we're not talking to anybody. I always, and again, I'm not judging anyone. I'm not judging anyone. This is simply my perspective. And if you agree, you agree. And if you don't, hey, like, let me know in the comment section. This is very much open dialogue. But I did not get my first phone until I was a senior in high school. So I spent a lot of my youth without, you know, cell phone. So I wasn't the person that like whipped out her phone whenever, you know, something cool was happening, because I didn't have a phone. It still feels weird to me to kind of like, if something is happening, let me whip out my phone so other people can see it, because I know I don't look back in my gallery. Like, once I take a picture, baby, that thing's gone. I'm not seeing that until next year. So if I'm whipping out my phone, I'm whipping it out so I can post it on Instagram or post it on YouTube or whatever for Instagram content. And you know, people make money. That's how a lot of people make money. But before influencing was a thing, it was like automatic to somebody, like, oh my God, this cool thing is happening. Let me get my black box to record this thing. And it was kind of weird to me. But, you know, it's the times, and now people are making money off of it. And what am I gonna say? Oh no, stop doing it. Like, baby, if you are making 4 figures a month because of this little black box, go ahead, do your thing, girl. But after a while, I start to notice that the black box started to seep into different areas of other people's lives. Whether it is me seeing a couple go out somewhere and they're not even looking at each other, they're looking at the box, you know? Where someone can't even focus on driving, they have to look down at the black box. Like, where people are holding the black box and looking at the black box while they're crossing the street, or people are like looking at the black box while they are in class, and like the black box is everywhere. And there is a lot of good that comes from this black box, don't get me wrong, but something about us attaching ourselves to this, to the point where we are a lot more willing to disconnect from the physical, is really interesting. And a lot of people have argued that because of evolution, we as human beings will not be able to keep up with technology intellectually. So a part of me believes, truly believes, that this device that we hold 24/7, that we are putting in a whole bunch of our information. And no, I'm not talking about Meta having your social security number. I'm not talking about your spy from China. I'm not talking about that. There's so much data about you that this box has alone that is honestly pretty frightening. From I've taken pictures of my ID, you know, for job applications, or even to verify my identity. Like, I have talked to ChatGPT about certain things and about that's going on with my life. From text messages to phone calls to like the trackers on apps, to it counting the amount of steps that I take. And this is not for you to be scared. I don't want anyone to be scared. I want you to be, I guess, a little more aware of how this little black box is integrating itself into your life and separating you. Separating you from your loved ones, and you are allowing it to separate you. And I think like this also trickles into people, what is it called? The self-help gurus. Self-help is like a multi-billion-dollar industry. Self-care by itself is so profitable now because so many people are anxious, because so many people have depression. And we go on this black box and we say, hey, I have anxiety. Can you help me find someone that can give me advice about my anxiety so I can better, process my feelings, so I can better, show up. Like, I want to show up as the best version of myself. Can you give me someone that can help me process what I'm going through? And the black box is saying, your wish is my command. So they give you thousands of people to look at. And since the person is within the black box, and I really want you guys to hold my hand, because I may confuse a lot of people, but I really hope that this this gets through to a lot of people. The black box hasn't been wrong yet. When I ask the black box, where's the closest pizza place? The black box shows me the closest pizza place. When I ask the black box, what are some things that are going on, I don't know, around in the area? The black box shows me stuff. So when I ask the black box, hey, give me some people, some advice, give me some people that can give me some good advice. And you can get from, self-help gurus to pastors online to people even like, I don't know, reading your tarot. Like people do tarot readings on the black box. And now you're exposed to so many different things, so many different energies. Because now it's not only the black box, it's the person projected to you on the black box, right? And the thing between the box and a person is that people have different lives they live outside of this black box. And sometimes I wonder if our discernment is strong enough that it can pierce the black box, right? Sometimes people can put up this big facade online. And some people know. I know a lot of people that have like really strong discernment. Like, I mean, I can tell you a couple times where I simply just stopped watching someone, and like a couple years down the line, it's like, oh, this person was going through this, or this person does that. Like it pops up. It pops up with a lot of people, and I mean, I pray that you guys have strong discernment, but for people who haven't kind of built that, emotional intelligence with the online space, I wonder if the reason why certain people get elected, if the reason why there's so much stuff going on in the world, like, is because we as a collective have been so desensitized and what is that word? Disconnected with ourselves and disconnected to our discernment, that it's easier for us to believe the box, the people in the box, than it is for us to believe ourselves. It's easier for you to believe someone that you have never met before than it is for you to believe yourselves. Because I often wonder, like, why do people, again, not judging nobody, but I often wonder, like, oh God, please don't judge me. Like, do I have the same ability to speak to God that my pastor does? Like, what is the difference between me and a pastor, right? Like, if I'm able to talk to God and they're able to talk to God, but I need to go to this person to tell me something about what God is saying, what is the disconnect here? And I'm just using pastors. Like, there are people that like go to tarot readers, do what you do, but sometimes I'm wondering, like, what is the disconnect? And again, this is not like, this technology is not the reason why like people go to pastors and go to tarot readers and stuff, because people have been doing this for years on end. I may cut this out because I'm like, what does that have to do, girl? But I don't know. It's just like something about going online and trusting a person that I've never met before, over my own discernment is really interesting. And a lot of times, the people that I watch, they're just pouring into me, I believe that everyone is a reflection of me, and it seems, so far, it seems like if ever, I'm doing pretty good. Like there has been a lot of times where I haven't been doing the best, and like emotionally, and I mean it reflected that. So I kind of wonder, like, since we have this little black box, and I mean, if we're being real, this thing is not going away anytime soon. This thing will outlive us, you know? I don't even know. They may bury us with this thing. Like, I genuinely don't know what happens to my information when I cross. Like, I genuinely don't know, right? But I really want us to gain a collective discernment, or at least learn how to build a discernment that transcends technology when it comes to our connections with other human beings. Because the fact that people can go on a date with each other and won't pay attention to each other is so crazy to me. It's such a turnoff for like a guy to just be on his phone on a date. It's such a turnoff. You do not have enough space in your brain for you to like put down the phone for 10 seconds and talk to the person in front of you. I guess like if you're running a multi-million business, like there's some leeways around that. But if you're on Instagram on a date, I can never, like, I don't understand that. If I'm hanging out with my friends and I pull out my phone, I just say like, oh, excuse me for a second. Cause I feel like that's rude. I feel like the signal that I'm sending to somebody when I'm looking at my phone, and this is just me being hyper aware, is this box is more interesting than you. Like, the box that I'm holding in my hand is just it. Unless I'm talking, if I'm literally scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on social media, unless I'm talking to my mom, I'm replying to an important email, like text messages. Of course, there's some exceptions to the rules, but if I'm scrolling on Instagram while I'm having this conversation with my friend, something about that, like, it's just saying like, are you, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's just so rude. And it's so normal too, like, but something about feeling like I have to compete for someone's attention. It's like me versus a box. And it's not just your phone, it's the television. It's not just a television, it's your laptop. Like, it's like we are constantly feeding our energy and our attention into these boxes, and we are wondering why we are so drained. We are wondering why we have less patience with each other, because our black box can easily soothe us with dopamine, with our fun drug, dopamine. Like, why would I spend time dealing with people, going on dates, and just doing all this when the box can give me what I want, when the box can show me all these beautiful people, all these fine men, all these like cool people, right? Like, so why would I deal with a real life person when the box can show me where all the cool people at? And I think that's our problem, And again, take this as you will. This is just how I am analyzing the world as a 23-year-old Gen Z living in America. And with the information that I have gathered while on this earth, you know? This is just how I'm viewing life right now. We're giving a lot of our power to this box. And I want to take it back. I want to take my power back. But it's difficult, you know, because this box has helped me through a lot. It's like, how do you cut someone off that helped you get a job? Like, how can you cut something off that helped you maybe like meet your partner, that helped you gain your first $1,000, that helped you, you know, like, that just helped you become the best version of yourself, that introduced you to your friends? Like, this box has helped me like expose myself to different types of people that I probably would have never, you know, done before. Like, I probably would have never experienced if it wasn't for this box. So I don't see myself cutting it off, right? Like, I'm not going to do that. I don't think that would be a wise thing, but I really would like for us to, like, you know, learn how to trust ourselves a little more than we do this box. Like, what if there's certain things, certain messages, certain information that only you possess, that only you know, and that it's so far out, it's so like out of this world, it's so stellar that nobody on this planet could give you that type of confirmation. Like, what have you been hearing? What have you been seeing? What have you been visualizing? What have you been praying about that doesn't even make any sense? Like, nowhere that you're going, no person that you are talking to, no pastor, no reader, nobody, nothing online. There's nothing that you are exposing yourself to that is like allowing you to see the things that, like, it's like in your head. Like, you literally, it's like, I don't know how to explain this, but I have this idea. I don't know how to, like, I'm trying to Google it. I'm trying to see, I'm trying to create reference points. I'm trying to create like this thing. I have this vision, but I don't have a reference point. Oh wow, my nose is pink. I have this vision, but I don't have a reference point. I have this idea, but I don't have people to go to. I can't look this up. This isn't online. And this box have told me everything. This box literally opened the doors for so much light to come in, to the point where if it's not on this box, it cannot be created, or it cannot exist. And I hope you guys are listening to me. I hope you guys are listening to me. We have got so conditioned to things being a little easier, things making sense, because we are able to make things make sense because of this box. We're able to depend on this box to answer a lot of our questions, to help us create the stories of our lives because it has been with us for so long, to where if we have a question or we have an idea and the box can't fathom what you are saying, it may not be something that you should be going after. And oh, that sucks so bad. That sucks so bad. Now, I feel like this message went everywhere. But in this season, I really, 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 really want you to trust yourself. There is nothing on this earth that has ever been done before. There's nothing on this earth that has never been done before. There's nothing new under the sun. But that doesn't mean that everything has been documented. You are not the first person to try to do this thing. It just probably hasn't been documented before. Or, where am I going with this? Okay, I had a brain fart. But still, do it. Just because you don't see the blueprint, do it. It could be something that could change your life. But just because you don't see it on the little black box, you feel like it's not, no one can create it, right? Just because you're like, oh my God, this is not showing up on the black box. So, do it anyways. Do not wait for anyone to give you the answers to the questions that you feel like you already have the cheat sheet to. If you feel like you know, that you truly know, without a shadow of a doubt, that there is something waiting on the other side, then go for it. And be unapologetic about it. And people will think that you are crazy. People will think that you've lost your mind. Maybe you have. Maybe you have lost your mind. Or maybe you're just trying to find a new one. You've lost your mind to find a new mind, to find a more abundant mind, to find a more disciplined mind, to find a more creative mind. You've lost your submissive mind to find a mind that will be able to generate your multi-million business. You've lost your lazy mind so you can be able to attract the people that will be with you for the rest of your life. You lost the mind you lost the mind that allowed you to get pushed over by everyone to gain this boss that you are today. So don't be afraid of losing your mind, because you will gain a new one. You will get a new one, babes. Maybe I should have done this before, but whatever. I'm doing everything backwards, but yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna put on my eyeshadow just a little bit. Again, I should have done this before, but hey. Hey. Hey, I love you like I love you. Wait. I love it when you call me big. Hey, put your hands in the air if you a true player. Y'all, my makeup is... I really want to upgrade my makeup look. This whole world give me company. What was that? I'm just going to pretend like I didn't see that. Gotta bring out my beauty marks. I love doing 3. Right? Ooh. All right, this is the final look. Look at my face. It is done. All right, y'all, that is going to be the end of my video. If you like this video, make sure that you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more of me on your timeline. Now let the games begin.